Pintard complained about the traveling of the PLP, and then he went and traveled with
Yes,
them. You know,
absolutely.
I mean, how do
And
you
they
do
have that
this?
on anyway. That is something. See, that's what I'm saying. They must be playing politics because Fred Mitchell came out and made mention of that he went traveling to England with them and all this kind of stuff, and kind of like stay in your spot, man. Stay in your spot. You know better, and that
Yeah,
kind of stuff. And I wonder if the behaving people are being played a raw deal on this whole matter because this matter is a very serious matter.
it
We
is.
still see the many people are applying for citizenship and status in our country. And we are just lost people who cannot do anything about it. That's what it seems like to me. Mr. Davis, the Prime Minister, has not done anything about it. Keith Bell certainly isn't doing anything about it. In fact, he went and swore in another three so-called Bahamians because he was attending a funeral service of a dead man, and the whole rigmarole of this whole thing is just uncanny. They're telling me that they have people here who are afraid of Obe and all kind of nonsense. I mean, we have a country to grow and to build, and we should be doing the right things as is befitting of a country to do in this country. But we are fooling around as if nothing matters.
Listen, man, I've already told him that if they're afraid of Obey, just come stand behind me. I serve the one true and living God, and I'm not afraid of
So that's
anything.
what I say.
I'm not afraid of
That's what we
anything,
also.
or I'm not afraid of people who play with trinkets and sticks and cut off chicken heads. I eat chicken every day. I am not afraid. All right, but I know the one thing: I am gonna stand up for this country and fight for this. No one who believes in anything other than us is gonna take this country over. Tell you something: voodoo is not just rituals like Obey is. Voodoo is a religion with lots and lots of gods, with hundreds of gods that they worship. They also deal with demons. If they want bad things to happen, they deal with the bad spirits and the good spirits. That's not our culture. All right. We believe in the one true living God that we talk about in our constitution. And we're going to stand up. But we need Bahamians to be courageous in this hour. We need Bahamians to stand up.
Very true.
We need
Very true.
Bahamians to
Very
stand
true.
up for our culture and what we believe in, what our forefathers believe in. They believed it enough to put it in the Constitution itself. And so we have to stand up and not be ashamed and not fear these people, man. I always tell people, listen, Pharaoh's magicians was able to do the same tricks that Moses was able to do. The same miracle. They turned the staff into stick. Sorry, the staff into snake, just like Moses did. With Moses, snake eat theirs. All right. So you have to have your faith and understand that no matter what you see happening around you, Goliath is going to fall down.
So let
Goliath
me
is
ask you
going to
this:
fall.
I hear what you're saying, and let me ask you this: what's happening as far as the COI is concerned now? Because I know you've gained a lot of ground, and people have great respect for the COI grouping right now. What are your thoughts along the lines that you had that big rally the other day? You got great response from it. I know that you frightened some people with it. What has been the feedback on that fright that was cast on the what's it called Arwaki the other day? What's been the feedback so far? Because people are now saying, I'm hearing it too. Boy, they're gaining ground. They're gaining ground. They're coming for us. That kind of stuff. And I mean, that's not just from the PLP. That is just from opposition on the whole. They're looking at you guys as a new political body, and you all mean business. And that's because I think that you all have been showing the people signs that you all are serious. You all mean business. What's been your feedback?
Well, the feedback has been phenomenal. People have been, swarming towards the COI. We get calls every day from people throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas. Every single day, people will call and say that they have been a staunch PLP all their life, or they've been a staunch FNM all their life, and they're giving the COI a try this time because the PLP and FNM ain't making no sense. And I mean, the people that are doing it, you will be shocked to know that, you call their name and that's a hardcore PLP. or hardcore F&M, and they are saying that they are done with that because it's not making any sense. People see that we're the only grouping that is fighting for the Bahamian people, that we are doing our time. We are being victimized, all right? We are being attacked. We are being arrested. We are paying our dues because freedom isn't free. Someone have to pay for freedom. And we've decided to be the ones to pay for that. And people are realizing that. And we are standing up against tyranny. We're standing up against what's going on. And another thing that the government did, so outside of the rally, which showed people that we were legitimate, and that we were serious. They've never seen a rally, the first rally of a political season with that many people. And it was a professionally done rally, and people were very impressed with it. And they were impressed with the shadow ministers that came forward. And there are others just like them waiting in the wings for the right time. We're going to release them piece by piece. You're going to see them. We can't wait to release the next ones. Once we release these next ones, people are going to realize, oh, yeah, they are ready to govern this country. And so another thing the government did was they legitimized us by the fact that they are making the people feel that we're governing this country. How? Because the government came forward with a blueprint for change, and that was supposed to be what they were going to do in this term. But everyone is starting to notice that they're bringing nothing forward from the blueprint for change. The only thing the government is talking about doing is stuff they hear me saying on my live broadcast. They're now talking about Bay Street and pedestrianizing.
Somebody told me that, but I didn't believe that. But
yeah,
that's what somebody told me.
Everything you hear them discussing is stuff they heard me say before on the live. All right. And at some point, I think our PR people are going to have to start showing me talking about someone alive and then them coming and talking about it, months later. But they're talking about Bay Street and what they're going to do. They're going to demolish some places and they're going to do some stuff at Bay Street. They hear us talking about that. They're going to pedestrianize some parts of Bay Street. They heard us talking about that. Months ago, they heard us talking about some things with the Port Authority. I released the actual document and showed where the port was responsible for certain things. I had a town hall meeting in Grand Bahama and showed the people certain things that the port wasn't doing. Now they're repeating the same things they heard me say. And so it's a lot of the carbon credits. Before election, they were like, oh, Lincoln is selling dreams. Oh, that carbon credit is a bunch of foolishness. And then they came back and now that's all they were talking about. And so it's like, hold on, didn't y'all say Lincoln was selling dreams with this? And so they are just legitimizing us in everything that they are doing right now. And they might as well just let us be the government because they're copying us, but they're not copying it properly.
Yeah, is it because they're empty? Empty vessels make the most noise. I know, but the point what I'm making is it because they're empty to the point where they don't even know what the people really want, and they are not listening to what the people really want. The people want jobs.
It's opposite.
The people want things to happen for them.
No, Steve.
And they're not getting it. The people want better employment. The people want to see that they're being paid from the government whenever they got contracts to do government work. They want to see that to happen, but they're not listening to that.
Steve, they know exactly what the people want, but they don't want to give the people what they want. I see. 2 elections ago, the people wanted jobs. They wanted, raises in salary. They wanted a higher minimum wage. That's stuff that governments can do. All right. Then they'll do it piece, just to please you. But now that we've opened the people's eyes, the people want what's theirs. They want their crown land. They realize that there's enough crown land for all of us to get our acre of crown land, and it doesn't even touch the inventory. The people want to benefit from their natural resources. A couple of weeks ago, the University of Michigan headed up this study that showed that our seagrass alone is worth $156 billion per year.
Yes, I saw that.
All right?
Yes, I saw that.
How in the world? We have to be the stupidest people on earth, Steve, to now hear that. All right? I can understand you saying, okay, we don't believe Lincoln. All right? But to hear a proper scientific study done that says the seagrass, Steve, do you know what seagrass is? Let me tell everyone what seagrass is. Seagrass is that black section on the beach that nobody wants to walk on. That everyone is afraid, I don't want to walk on that. That stuff on the beach that you are afraid of is what's going to make every single Bahamian wealthy. is going to change the lives of every single Bahamian. That section of the beach that you rejected, that's seagrass. That's the grass. That's not seaweed. Seaweed is different. That seagrass is what you are afraid to walk on the beach, that dark spot. That's all over our ocean. And so that right there is worth $156 billion per year. We believe it's
only some people gonna get that money because we can't even get the sovereign wealth fund stuff in our coffers to the point where we can get that $46 million or $46,000 per annum, and nothing is happening for that. Now that's been a situation that we need to talk more about. We need to talk much more about it, but it seems as if that is not a very interesting point for the people of the Bahamas to really discuss in earnest to make sure that they can get it.
Right now, the government is trying to distract the Bahamian people with all manner of things. They are now again talking about, oh, we're going to legalize marijuana. Oh, we're going to marital rape. They have in the paper again. You know, all this homosexual talk all over the place. They're talking about again. All of these are distractions. You know, listen, I believe in the one true and living God, and my Bible says man and woman. I don't believe in anything else. I believe if a man thinks that he is born in the wrong body, he has mental issues and he needs to be checked out. And there's no way that you're going to teach that in our school. All right. I will stand up against that if they ever try to come with that. All right. But I understand how politics works. That politics is you distract the people. It's like a magician. You have one thing in one hand while you're doing the dirt in the other hand. You understand? They just want you talking about something else while they are raping and robbing this country. And there's robbery going on beyond belief. Beyond belief. And so I don't want to talk about man dressing as woman. And you got $156 billion that's mine that you don't want to give me. We got to be the craziest people to have a conversation about man dressing as woman, and every single Bahamian adult 21 years and over has $1 million sitting down waiting for them. And that's just the seagrass. That ain't the mangroves yet. That ain't the forest yet.
Hello.
That ain't the coral reefs yet. That ain't the rest of the ocean.
Yeah. Well, you know, we've tried to tell the people what has been happening. For the most part, we did 6 different shows on it with our man to talk about these kinds of matters. But it seems as if the interest is not there at this particular time, to the point where the people are so overwhelmed that they want to get this thing done. They just seem to be so. Our people just seem to be so burdened with so many other things these days. They're overloaded. The burden is overloading right now to them. And they don't even understand that you've got to get some things done. You've got to get some things done in place, like the immigration policies. And all. We've got to do these things. This is a new beginning, Lincoln Bay. This is a new beginning. In a couple of days, Monday, I think it is, we celebrate this first 50 years. We want to go into the next 50 years, right? But we've got to straighten a lot of things out. We can't be going down this road like this. And it seems as if we only want celebration of good times, just good times, and not pay any attention to what's really happening in our country. We've got serious problems in our country.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
And we have very fixable problems. But we have some politicians who make you think it's so difficult because they don't want to give it to you. They'll always make it seem like hard. It's like when you have a baby daddy, you always crying that he broke, so he can't help you with the child. But then when you look at him, he always wearing the latest Jordan tennis shoes. He driving the fancy car with rims. But then when you ask him for Pampers for the baby, oh, no, I broke, man. I ain't got no money, man. I got all kind of bills. That's how the politicians have been treating us.
I want to run to a break and put you on pause for a second. We're going to do that and take a break. And, of course, we'll play some commercials and all that. We'll come back and finish it up. I think we're going to be able to abbreviate this one into an hour and a half, I suppose, because of the way you are right now. And you're not here in the studio and that has thrown us a little bit off. But the point is, we're talking with you, and we're happy to be talking with you, and we're going to come back after these words, okay?
Thank you.
1 second. All right. Lincoln Bain, we're talking with today on the show. We're talking about a number of things there, and boy, this is quite interesting today.
Ladies and gentlemen, so I'm on Steve Mckinney show. I had to do it remotely today. And and so that's why my live is kind of weird, and he is actually on the line, and on his show, I'm on the line.
Talking about what's happening now, the Facebook page. You can go to that Facebook page, and you can see about Miss Jillian Bartlett. She's an activist in the Bahamas for Bahamians. Legal residents communicated with the government, and they are really trying to see if they can get you to go and be a part of the GoFundMe program. Help the Bahamas stop the invasion. That's what it's all about. Helping the Bahamas stop the invasion. Here's how you can help. You can go to https://GoFundMe/7DBF9D05. Please share this information with the many persons who want to have this information in their arsenal and help them to reach their goal. This is the GoFundMe fund with the Bahamas and Bahamians for legal residents in the Bahamas. Here's how you can also support this program. BOB, the account number is 551-01-26518. That's the JFK branch. The account status 03166.
So while Steve is doing that commercial stuff, I just want to say that this is time for us to stand up, and this is time for us to fight. This is time for us to realize that we can't have this change. You have to educate your family and friends. Even if we don't discuss anything else, if we discuss nothing else, you now know there's documented evidence, that our seagrass alone is worth $156 billion with a B. I said billion, Yes, I'm here, Steve. Yes. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, bud. Okay, no problem. All right. Our carbon credits are worth $156 billion. We believe there's about 150,000 Bahamian adults, 21 and over. That's $1 million per person per year. These ain't my numbers. This is not my numbers. This is official numbers. Y'all are gonna just throw that away because you love your party more than you love yourself. You just need the F&M to be in to give more crumbs out. You just need the PLP to be in to give more crumbs out while they're spending money and balling and doing whatever they want to do. The facts is there. The facts is clear. All we want to do is take whatever belongs to the Bahamian people and give it to them. Is that too much to ask? We want what's ours. Why can't we get our crown land? All we want to do is give Bahamians their crown land. But you love the politician more than you love yourself. Oh, look at my good MP and his wife, and look at how that's good hat on. Oh, I love them. Look how they representing. You could afford a hat too. Your money paying for the hat, and you praising them while you broke. Your money paid for that trip they on. Your money paid for the party they having. They dancing and balling on you. Y'all gotta spread the message. Y'all gotta spread the word. That's the only way this is gonna get out. Y'all gotta wake up. It's up to y'all. As simple as that. So if you're just tuning in, we're on Steve Mckinney show. So I'm broadcasting live on YouTube, on YouTube and on Facebook, on a couple of different platforms, Lincoln Bain, Bahamian Evolution, and Coalition of Independence. So you can get us on any one of those. We're also on LinkedIn and a couple other platforms. All right. So all the major platforms we are on. I think all except Instagram. All right. So you can get us on any one of those platforms. Share this stuff with your family and your friends. Let's wake them up, man. Let's wake them up. So when we come back, I want Steve to let me talk more about the immigration situation and what we did in the letter, because we kind of went all over the place, um, and why we identified those things and egregious stuff that's been happening as it relates to that. All right. I want all of you to stay focused. Don't let them come talking to you about no marital rape to change the conversation. Let them come talking to you about no medical marijuana, no marijuana, and this kind of stuff. Let's make sure we straight first. Make sure our pockets right, and we got our land in the bank, and then we could worry about all the rest of them stuff. Because we don't want just you to be. If you want medical marijuana, we want you to be able to afford to buy it or to farm it, if that's what you want. What makes the homosexual agenda so big is because they got money. Why they could press you is because you broke. So you go there and protest as much as you want. They fund the movies, so they're gonna put their homosexual stuff in the movies. We need to fund ourselves. Wake up. Show's coming back.
There's some other things that we want to tell you about here today on the show, and that is the fact that a lot of people want to know what's happening as far as the Facebook page is concerned. I want you to be able to call on the Facebook page and see what's happening there for us. There's a lady named Jillian Bartlett. She's in Grand Bahama. She set up this GoFundMe fund to stop the invasion. And the fund number is https://GoFundMe/7DBF9DO5. Okay, you can GoFundMe because they want to stop the illegals from coming into our Bahamas. There's also you can also support us. Go to BOB. We're trying to get monies to make sure that the lawyers get the monies to make sure that they can, in fact, look at this matter and give this serious, careful review. And they're going to take it to court. And the account number there for you to fund these lawyers is, get this new number now. Please write it down. 551-012-6518. That's in the JFK branch. Okay? That number again for the Stop the Invasion, 551-012-6518, JFK branch. Okay? If you want to put something else in there, as far as the account status is concerned, 03166. You want to write a check, whatever you want to do, you can make it to that particular account. Okay? GoFundMe, the Stop the Invasion Fund. All right? The first one is the idea for the GoFundMe account. And the number for that is https://GoFundMe/7DBF9DO5. That's how you can fund this effort, because everybody knows that we have to get these Haitian national people out of this town. And you can make your contribution. All you got to do is just go and put your money there. That's it. That's what you do. Put your money there. Your $20 or $50 or $100. That's what you're looking at. You've got to pay for these lawyers who are going to be here to defend this case before the Privy Council if we have to go that far. And that's one of the reasons why we're telling you what the information is right now. The other way that you can lend your support to this account is by going to account number for the Stop the Invasion, 551-01-265-118, JFK, okay? 551-01-265-118, okay? Thank you very much. Now, there's a lady who's already sent some monies in, and her name is Jewel Mortimore. She's all the way from South Florida. $400 she has sent. $400 to that account. And so we want to recognize her, thank her for her efforts, and the ball is now rolling. Okay? The ball is now rolling. It's up to you, the regular, average, everyday people who talk every day about the nationals coming in, taking your jobs, taking your homes, and taking your land, and taking everything else they can take. What are you going to do about it? Get busy. Put your money where your mouth is. That's what you do. Put your money where your mouth is. Lincoln Bain is on the telephone line with us. Good afternoon, Lincoln. Are you there?
Good afternoon. Yes, I'm here, Steve.
Peace and love, man. Listen, we've been talking a lot about what's been happening here. We've got it's now 5:54 on the time clock here. And I'm wondering, what else is there that you've got to tell us that's kind of like earth-shattering? I know that you've got some things up your sleeve because there have been many people who've been telling me that Lincoln is the man in charge of a lot of things in the Bahamas, and he finds out a lot of information, and a lot of people are waiting with all kind of ears to hear exactly what he has to say. What is it that you have to say to us, the Bahamian people, we the Bahamian people today, that will really make us understand where you are, where the COI is, where the government is on this issue of the many illegals in our country and many other economic issues in our country? Where are you on this particular matter? And what do you say to the Bahamian souls today?
Right. So I want to continue where we started off. I know we went straight, but we need to talk about what the persons at the Department of Immigration are saying about the minister, what they're alleging is going on there and what's disturbing them. The first thing that we mentioned was that they're seeing these approvals happen without cabinet approval. They also said that Mr. Bell has allegedly overstepped his bounds, interfering with the day-to-day operations and intimidating staff who question his unlawful actions. The Immigration Act, of course, we know designates the director of immigration responsible for such operations, not the minister. Ministers are not supposed to interfere with day-to-day operations. Their job is policy. They only supposed to bring the policy, communicate the policy of the government. They're not supposed to manage any of the departments, but of course they bully their way in. And also the manual on cabinet and minister procedure also dictates that the minister isn't supposed to do that. That they're only supposed to operate on the planning level. So that's the law. But of course, we break the law in this country. Number three
let's talk about breaking the law. But wait a second, Lincoln. Let's talk about breaking the law in this country for a minute, because the spokesperson from the office of Prime Minister says Bell did some things that was unconventional and should not have happened, but to accommodate the things that he wants to accommodate to bring those Haitian nationals in to satisfy the wishes of a dead man. I'm saying that Keisha Smith Adderley is now saying that he didn't break any laws. And the Free National Movement and the other political parties have not said that he has broken any laws. Can you say definitively if, in fact, you saw where he broke laws? And what are those things that you're talking about? You were talking about breaking laws just now.
Yes, we had a whole live that talked about the laws that he broke. He broke many laws, but we don't even have to go there if they don't want to admit that he broke laws. You don't have, in the Westminster system, you don't have to have broken a law to resign. So, for example, when Brent Simonet gave the contract to Bahama Hot Mix for the runway, he didn't break a law by doing that. He didn't break that. That didn't break a law, but he had to resign. All right. There were many instances where persons had to resign. Remember, Dr. Dwayne Sands resigned. All right, during the pandemic process. All right, because of persons he allowed to land or whatever, he wasn't breaking the law. All right, but he had to resign. There are many persons who had to resign. Remember, we had an issue with Shane Gibson before. All right.
Yes.
The law wasn't necessarily broken, but he resigned, didn't he? All right. So we have had many resignations over the years.
The same thing should happen in this case.
Yes.
The same thing should happen in this case.
No, see, and I don't want them to trick the Bahamian people because they keep us, so daft by keeping us uneducated that they could just say something and make it sound like it makes sense. It isn't. You don't only resign when you break the law. You can do something wrong that doesn't break the law, but it's still wrong. Simple as that. All right. And what he did was wrong. And he should have resigned. And in the Westminster system, he should have resigned. Okay. And so that is what needs to be challenged.
Perhaps won't resign. He hasn't, and he won't perhaps resign. What do you make of that? I mean, doesn't that reflect upon the leadership of the PLP?
It shows the endemic corruption of this criminal organization called the PLP that is running our country. All of them are involved. This is actions of the PLP, not of Keith Bell. This is an action of this entire ministry. And so, yes, to be clear, he did break the law. All right. But even if they don't accept that, what he did was wrong and he should resign. But he broke many laws. All right. He had no right to do the things that he did in that church. But there are now other things that are being accused by staff members that I started to list to you that are clearly breaking the law.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead. I'm listening to you.
All right. And so I've listed all the ways that he broke the law as it relates to issuing out certificates to the children and the wife of the dead man before they paid. That breaks the law. Issuing out certificate of citizenship without any publication in the newspaper, etc. There were a lot of things he did that were ultra virus of the law. But I'll continue based on what the staff is saying. All right. Number 3, they said that the staff voiced their concerns about consultant Tilly Burrows, who has access to the immigration system. They want to know why he has access. But of course, when they inquired, they said, well, the minister say do it.
Who's this person?
Tilly Burrows, Ernest Tilly Burrows. He's the brother of Greg Burrows. All right. So Tilly Burrows has access to the system. Now, consultants don't have access. Their job is to just consult. They're not to be.
Is he a consultant over there?
Yes, he's a consultant.
Is he supposed to be a consultant?
Yeah, they made him a consultant. And consultants, they just give advice when they ask for it. They don't run the day-to-day. They shouldn't be in the computer system. Anyway, I'll continue. Number 4, despite official announcements halting the issuance of work permits to Haitian nationals, Keith Bell, according to staff, continues to issue work permits to Haitian nationals. They had a whole press conference saying that they will not be issuing any more work permits to Haitian nationals. And this is why you can't believe anything the PLP says. They will say one thing and do whatever they want to do. Number 5, individuals deported to Haiti and placed on stop lists have reportedly returned with work permits.
What?
And so persons sent back, you can't come back to this country because of what? Criminal record, whatever, sent back, deported, and then they come back, work permit in hand. And so immigration is looking at it, no, you want to stop? Let's say you got a work permit. Listen, y'all don't touch that, leave that alone. Let him in.
My Lord.
Number 6.
That's a serious bit of growth.
Yeah. Mr. Bell has been accused of authorizing a work permit for an individual already on a deportation plane, on the plane getting deported, and having her removed from the plane. That's a flagrant violation of the law. If a person is an illegal immigrant who was here illegally and you aided and abetted them by breaking the law, by finding a way to give them a work permit, that's criminal. That's fraud. That's aiding and abetting an illegal immigrant. Because there's no way she could qualify for a work permit while at the detention center because she can't fulfill the requirements. She can't get her medical and other stuff that she would have had to do to be able to fulfill the requirements to get the work permit. On top of that, you can't apply for a work permit while in the Bahamas. So obviously that should not have happened. But what did they say? Well, the ministers say, and that's what's happening around the immigration department. Number 7, immigration staff complained about, and this is the big one, an incident where over 100 Chinese nationals were arrested by immigration officers at a hotel for immigration offenses. They were placed on buses to be transported to the detention center. Keith Bell himself called the officer in charge of the scene, who was the deputy director of immigration. Keith Bell instructed her to release the illegal immigrants and allow them to apply for a work permit the next day while in the Bahamas. We can release them and just let them apply. The deputy director protested. This is not legal. They cannot apply while in the country. She said everything that she could. But of course, she was overpowered by the minister. After that, and this was the second time she challenged him, so after that, she was subsequently unlawfully placed on leave. In other words, suspended. The director of immigration, not the deputy, her boss. The director of immigration wrote a memo to the permanent secretary about this unlawful act, all right, of what happened with these Chinese by the minister. So there's a memo proving this. And it was written to no avail. All right. These are the kinds of things that is being reported that is going on right now. And we're going to have to take this to the courts to clear this up. And we're going to have to summons staff members. We're going to have to summons certain documents. But we have to clean this up because they are using this as a tool to destroy our country, to give out citizenships like candy. We got to fight, Steve.
You mean to tell me all of these things, what space of time did this thing happen in? This happened over a period of time, like 6 months, 7 months, a year, 2 years. What's been happening? Because this seems all to be so constant, like one thing after the other with the Keith Bell and the immigration people, and this whole situation where this diatribe where they have taken exception to what he's been doing in the Department of Immigration themselves, and they're complaining about a lot of things that he's been doing. That means that he should have been removed a long time ago, because obviously they ain't getting no mercy inside there from him, and he's going totally against what they're saying. Well, as immigration officer,
he is acting on behalf of the Prime Minister and the PLP government. And so he has the whole government supporting his illegal actions. We all know that.
You believe that Brave Davis of them knew about the fact that he has done this thing with the 3 members who got citizenship the other day?
Yes.
You believe that they were all a part of this whole thing?
Yes. They're all a part of this. He's also done favors for other members of parliament to help them get some people straight to get favor with these people. All right. This is a whole ring going on. It's a big money ring, you know.
So you now know that this whole thing is about gaining power, remaining in power, and creating a new block of people to vote.
Creating the new voting block is gravy. That ain't the cake. The cake is the amount of money that is being made from this. That's where this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. They are making crazy money under the table. That is why this continues. People are paying big money to get their papers and then to get their citizenship. Big money.
So KB is right. They selling our country.
They selling it. All right? And so that's why we have to stand up. We have to fix this. This is serious. This isn't just about, we talk about the Nationality Act being a fraud and these people shouldn't get their citizenship because they can't renounce their citizenship, et cetera, et cetera. It's past that. They are making so much money from this. See,
it's filthy lucre now. It's kicked in to the point where the money can't stop from coming, and they loving it.
Let me tell you, when they teach you to be a detective, they always teach you to follow the money. That's the fastest way to see what's going on. Just look for where the money is, and that's where you can see what is really happening. There's a corruption issue. And if you follow the money, you're going to see what's really going on. And this is why I tell people we need to control the money. The problem is we don't control the money in this country. All of our money is made by others and sent out of this country. We get the crumbs. We have a crumb type economy. We let a foreign investor come, take our money out of our banks so that the banks lend to them, and then they build a hotel, and then they send the money out of the country, but we get the crumbs called jobs. And that's how our system works. And that's why we are so impotent and we have no power and we have weak leaders who sell us out and we can do nothing. Why? We can't come and protest because we need that little job. We can't speak out because we need that little job. You see? And I just want to say this. Let me just say this first. And that's why I told people don't get distracted with these other issues. Don't get distracted with all these people talking about the homosexuals and all this other stuff and whatever. That is important. That's very important. We got to keep our country clean. All right? But it's a distraction to stop you from focusing on the fact that your seagrass is worth $156 billion. That's $1 million for you in the bank. But they got you talking about sissies while they holding on your $1 million. All right? What makes the gay lobby so powerful is they got the money. They have money behind them. That's what makes every lobby powerful. They got so much money. They can put their little gay scenes in their movies and in their TV series that you got to watch anyway if you want to watch TV. And so there's nothing you can do to them because they got the money. What we need to do is get our money right. When we get our money right, we're not dependent on the IDB, the IMF, and all these people are trying to put things on us. They don't control Qatar. Qatar said, listen, and they've made every citizen a millionaire. All right? They have generational wealth. And they said, listen, we are having the World Cup or whatever in our country. No one raised no funny flag in our country, eh? 10 years in jail. Did you hear any country going against them for saying that? Did you hear anyone rising up against them? They don't care what you have to say because their money is right. Bahamas, let's get our money right and stop being weak so that we don't have to sell out to everything. Let's get our money right. Our money is sitting right there waiting on us.
Lincoln, there's a spirit of corruption in this place. They see that you cannot discount that. There's a spirit of corruption in the Bahamas. And because of that, we are open-minded to just do any crazy thing that's happening. Anything that could bring a couple of dollars, we into that.
The corruption is there because the money ain't right. All right? There is no corruption in Singapore. It's not because they're strict. It's because no one wants to mess up a good thing. 1 in 6 households in Singapore has $1 million in the bank. They have no natural resources. None. Zero. They have a government who wakes up every day trying to empower them. The 5 and 6 that don't have $1 million in the bank, that's the foreign workers who come in to work for them. But the Singaporeans got their money.
What's wrong with the urban people? What's wrong with us then? What's wrong with us?
What's wrong with us is the politicians don't have to do nothing for us because we can vote for them anyway. Because we just voting for party. So why should they do something for you? Why? I grew up in Pinewood Gardens all my life. And every single member of parliament who campaigned to come in Pinewood Gardens campaigned that they're going to fix the flooding problem. Every single one, Steve. And not one of them fixed the problem. None. Why should they, if they know you could just vote for FNM or PLP anyway, who are friends? Why should they fix your problem? There's no corruption in Dubai because the people money right. There's no corruption in Norway, Qatar, Kuwait. And no one is trying to bully them. No IDB, IMF telling them what they must do and what they mustn't do. Let's get our money right, man. Our money is right here. Let's get rid of Brave, Davis, and these other people. They done got theirs, man. Time for us to get ours. Brave Davis is going to raise some salaries. By the time it's the next election, he's going to raise some salaries and do some other little signing of little crumbs and that kind of stuff. And people are going to sell out for that.
People can be happy with that. And maybe that's his plan. Maybe his whole thing is that I know what you want. You want a little something. We can give you a little something. But not now. That's a serious thing.
Anything they get you, anything that they give you that less than $100,000 a year, you get swing.
Well, Lincoln, I'm hoping that you all have some people ready to see how best you can compete against them and do a fantastic job that will be a big sell to the Bahamian people. And I know that you've got some people. I liked your minister of finance the other day. Your person in charge of looking at social well-being of the country and health and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
How much are you gaining toward getting a wider scope of people, an audience that can really take them on? If you really want to take them on and conquer them and deal with that, you've got real people who want to run a new Bahamas.
Yeah,
do you have the people?
We have the people. We have the people who are ready to transform this country. We have our doors open up for more persons to come in. There are some people who are with us, accountants, lawyers, doctors, who don't necessarily want to run, but they want to be the machinery behind the scene. There are persons, we have retired principals, senior educators. We have retired civil servants that are behind the scenes helping us put our plan together because they have all of the experience on what happens. They don't necessarily want to run, but the people who run the country is not the 39 parliamentarians. The people who run the country are the 700 positions, government positions, that really run what's going on. And these are the people that we are putting together silently. All right. So when you see our educational plan, there are Bahamian former principals and other educators, teachers, etc., who are responsible for putting this together. Also persons in other countries who are assisting with it. So all of our plans, they're professionals who are behind the scenes and ready to go. Whenever you see the COI, you're seeing, when you look at the crowd, in that crowd is a wide landscape of people. There are millionaires in the crowd, entrepreneurs, millionaires. When we got arrested at Bahama, there were millionaires who were arrested. We had to find $70,000 in less than an hour to pay cash bail for people. We didn't even blink. We just that was just paid. All right. Our people came forward and did that.
Before 5 o'clock, before they send you up to prison.
Yeah. We had less than an hour to find that. All right. And our people came up with it. They sacrificed. And so I don't want them to think that we are like any other third force that has ever existed. This is a God move. I believe that it's time for change. And that I believe that our maker is ready to transform this nation. That is what I believe. And so I believe that the people are ready for change. And all we have to do is spread the word to the rest of the people who are still asleep, and the change will come upon us. That's all we have to do. So we have a lot of qualified people in every single area, and we're ready to govern this country. I can't wait to introduce some more of our people to you.
What is that going to be? That's going to be when? The next couple of months?
We don't want to let them know when it's coming, but yes, in short order, you're going to see some more of our people who are going to come forward. Different skin hues, different socioeconomic status, and some activists, some professionals, as always. But people, a new crop of people with new ideas is going to blow your mind. You ready?
Well, I suppose we all look forward to that. Lincoln, I want to thank you very much because I know that you've got to go do some other things right now. And I understand that you were to be here today, but you couldn't. You had to fly out to Miami in an emergency. So I understand that. And so we hope to have you here with us very, very soon,
yes,
so that you can come into the studios, talk, and we can really rub shoulders and talk about the many things that we really have to give some serious attention to. But I think we did okay today because of the fact that time was late and we're producing the show all by ourselves today. There was no producer here today, so I think we did pretty good. So thank you very much for your input. And what else do you have to say about the fact that you didn't even touch that matter so much about the migrants who still keep coming to the Bahamas? What's your final comment along those lines? Because they're still coming. They're coming every day.
They're coming because we have a government in power that sees them as customers. They are customers. All right? There's a racket that's going on. And they don't want us to stop their customers from coming. And so they're going to call us all manner of things. They're going to call us xenophobic and all this stuff. I just want to say this again. We're not xenophobic. I'm not xenophobic because I want you to come to my country the right way. All right? Come the right way. I want to give you a job, but come the right way. It's simple as that. I could hire you as a maid, but when you come to my house, don't break the back window. Come knock on the door and let you inside. All right? Don't come 1 o'clock in the morning. Come 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's do this thing properly. All right? We're not xenophobic. We don't hate anybody. All right? And I just want to say, and I normally don't comment to these political prostitutes and trolls, but I'm going to say this. Louis George just put a post on his Facebook page. I never respond to these people. And I didn't even read all of it. I read like 2 paragraphs, and I was like, I don't have time to waste with this foolishness. I got to focus on New Bahamas. And basically, what I was told he is saying, is that he gave all kind of examples of why we're xenophobic and we just hate Haitians and every problem is Haitian, and we believe in division and we're about division and we're just dividing the nation, et cetera, et cetera. And I want him to understand that on that, he's right. Louis Georges, you are right. We are about division and we are drawing a line in the sand. And the dividing line is between those who love the Bahamas and those who don't love the Bahamas. And those who love the Bahamas include organic Bahamians. It includes residents who have come here the right way to live, including persons like residents who rebuilt Abaco when the government was doing nothing for that island. These aren't organic Bahamians. These aren't citizens of this country, but they helped rebuild Abaco as foreigners. They love the Bahamas. All right? Those who love the Bahamas include Haitian nationals who have come here the right way to work and help us build this country. And then there are the people who hate this country, like Louis Georges. And these, I will call them criminal-minded people in Rights Bahamas. They should not even be allowed to use that name because they are not right, they are wrong. And they are not about the Bahamas. There's a line in the sand, and that sand has nothing to do with xenophobia, ethnicity, or where you are from. It has to do with those who love the Bahamas and those who don't love the Bahamas. And yes, there is a dividing line. And we are going to divide this country. And those who love the Bahamas, we are calling on all of you to come together. We don't care what your race is. We don't care where you are from. We have to save this nation for our future generations. The last 50 years has been a terror for the Bahamian people. The next 50 years will be a blessing. It will be the glory of the Bahamian people. It will be the rising of the Bahamian people and those who love the Bahamas. There is no place in the New Bahamas for criminals like Luby Georges. And I call you criminal because of you aiding and abetting these people who printed a false book with false narratives about the Bahamas and spread it around the world. You hate this country. People like you. We are going to stand up for this one nation. And I will say this to persons like Luby and these other people. Y'all don't love Haitians. Y'all love yourself. Y'all making money from this. Y'all are making money from this process. That is why you're doing what you're doing. That isn't about the love of Haitians, because if you love Haitians, you wouldn't want them living in shanty towns. You'd be fighting for that. Not for them to live in a shanty town. You'd be fighting for their circumstances to change. Y'all hate Haitians. We love all people. So I see, Luby and Brave with their voodoo beads on, taking picture together. Someone said that's large beads. No, that ain't large beads. That's voodoo beads.
They had on voodoo beads?
Yes, they had on voodoo beads. Black voodoo beads. I know them. I live in Haiti for 2 years. All right? Brave.
So they got Brave David Six then.
Brave. Don't represent our country going around this world with voodoo beads on your left hand. That is not our culture.
Wow.
That ain't our culture.
Anyway, I appreciate you, Lincoln. Wishing you all the best, man. And we look forward to having you here in the studios with us very soon. Very, very, very soon.
Thank you
so much.
All right. God bless you.
Thank you.
All
okay,
right.
bye.
Thank you all of y'all for tuning in. Listen, we don't have time to waste with these people. These people are making their money. They don't care about you. They care about their money. For the Haitian people out there, they don't care about you. They don't care about you. They care about them making their money. All right? So, and yes, I said it. That's voodoo beads they wearing. This the Mexican Santeria people, they wear those kinds of beads too. All right? That's voodoo beads they wearing. All right? So, they doing it for their little power and their little tricks. But let me tell you something. This we serve the one living God. You don't have time for no foolishness. All right? Y'all could bring your trinkets and whatever and spread your oil and your salt and whatever else nonsense y'all is do. We don't have time for that. We can save our country, and nothing y'all can do to stop is going to stop the New Bahamas. We ready. We ready. And so thank all of y'all for tuning in. I gotta go get to work on what I came here for. And I'll be right back. So thank you. God bless you. Let's stand up for the New Bahamas. I go live again on Sunday. I think we got some more documents to drop. But let's stand up for the New Bahamas. Let's stay focused, man. Don't mind the political trolls. Remember, they are getting paid to do what they are doing, to say what they are saying. They are getting paid to make you think that the Bahamian people still feel the way they feel. No, that's only them. That's only the trolls, and they're getting paid to say it. Call into the talk shows. All right? They won't let me come on because the talk shows are against the truth being on their shows. But they can't stop you from calling in. So call in. Torment them. Absolutely torment them. Don't let them get away with the foolishness they are putting out there. Call in those talk shows and you speak the truth on them talk shows. You all stand up. All right? The PLP pays people to call into the talk shows repeatedly and just spread their message. No, we ready for the New Bahamas. Y'all want your money or y'all ain't want it. It's simple as that. You got to fight for this, It's right there waiting on you. You've been walking on that on the beach all these years, not knowing that same thing we was rejected in the water that we call seagrass, that we don't want to walk on because it's too dark. That's what's going to make every single Bahamian wealthy. It's reality. The one you think I sell in dreams. But ladies and gentlemen, wake up. Let's stand up. Call into the talk shows. Keep preaching the message. Keep preaching the message in New Bahamas. Let's stay focused. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, God bless all of you. We love you. Stand strong. Represent New Bahamas. Keep speaking strongly to those trolls. Let's not entertain them. Do what you have to do your part to bring in the New Bahamas. All right. So let's get our money right. All right. Philip Brave Davis, we can need that little thing. All right. Y'all in straight. We need ours. There's enough out there for every Bahamian to get their land and their money. It's there. Any conversation any party has outside of you getting your carbon credits and natural resources, your sovereign wealth fund, you are being tricked. There's no other conversation to have in this country right now. None. None. Let's get our money right, then let's talk. Let's get our money right, and then let's talk. But who won't be homosexual and who won't wear a dress and pants and whatever they won't wear. Let's get our money right. And then let's talk, but who won't smoke marijuana, who don't want to smoke marijuana. Let's get our money right. So no one can dictate to us again. So we can negotiate from a position of strength. So we could build the hotels. 50 years, and we don't own the hotels? 50 years? See you on Sunday.